Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Ridge appears ready to make love to Taylor as an unsuspecting Brooke arrives at the Forrester mansion. Today on The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke swears Zenda to secrecy, Ridge has a revelation, and Steffi updates Finn. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At the Forrester mansion, Ridge and Taylor discuss Brooke's big mistake. Taylor thinks it's hard to believe given how much she claims to care about him. Ridge laments that she's joined Carter and Hope. Taylor says it doesn't seem like she's considering his feelings. Ridge says Taylor always does. Maybe she's been right all along. In Forrester's main office, Brooke tells Zenda she agrees with them. Carter and Hope taking Forrester from Ridge and Steffi was wrong. She'll do whatever she can to get it back into their hands. She swears Zenda to secrecy. He will gladly keep it to himself. She says she took the job only so she could convince Carter to refile the LLC papers. She believes Carter and Hope have a place at the company, but under the right leadership. She will get the Forresters their company back. That is her ultimate goal in taking the job. Zenda gushes, "Oh my God, Brooke, if you can pull this off." Brooke understands why Carter and Hope felt they had to do something, but this was egregious. When it comes to this company, a company Eric and Stephanie built from scratch, I will always be loyal to Ridge and the Forresters. Always. At the Cliff House, Finn and Steffi talk about having each other's backs. He's sorry about what she's dealing with. Steffi hasn't even told him the latest. It's about Brooke. She says she did something unforgivable. Finn guesses she's siding with Carter and Hope now. Steffi shrugs. The Logans stick together. She's actually on their team. Finn wonders how she can stomach working for them when they stole the company. Steffi says it's because she gets to be in charge. She's the new CEO of Forrester Creations. Finn marvels that Brooke just put it out there that she was CEO with no word to Ridge. Carter and Hope are in the wrong. Brooke should know that. Steffi guesses she's taking advantage of the situation to elevate herself without regard for how her father feels. At the Forrester mansion, Ridge tells Taylor that her coming back to lay when she did was no coincidence. He believes she came when he needed her most. Taylor feels she needed him most. She reminds him how much he helped her. He teases that she has a good point. They laugh and then Ridge turns serious. Brooke knows what that company means to him. She should have been disgusted with her daughter, but she stood with them. "I can't do this anymore. You were right all along." He moves close and looks into Taylor's eyes as he rubs her shoulder. At the Cliff House, Finn gives Steffi a massage and asks if he's erasing her problems. She sighs. "My biggest problem? She might erase herself today." Finn asks, "Brooke?" Steffi can't imagine what she's thinking. She explains that her dad is staying at her granddad's house. If Brooke really cares about him, why wouldn't she go over there and say so? Instead, she double-crossed him. She thinks her father's finally had enough. Maybe he'll finally realize his true love is her mom. At the Forrester mansion, Taylor stammers, "Maybe we should I know today's been emotionally challenging." Ridge steps back and muses that they should call it a night and face it all again tomorrow. Taylor reminds him he's not alone. She tells him if he can't sleep, he can call her anytime. Ridge chuckles. "That's what I'll do. I'll call you." He grabs a bottle of booze and heads up the stairs. Taylor exhales and walks over to grab her purse. Hesitating, she looks up the stairs and thinks. At Forrester, Zenda tells Brooke how appreciative Ridge will be when she gets the company back for them. He asks about her first move. Brooke has to go tell Ridge right away. She doesn't want him to mistake her motive. "Imagine the smile on his face when I tell him why I took over his position. She'll put him back in charge of Forrester Creations." Zenda can't thank her enough. This is a huge relief. Brooke warns he needs to keep this quiet. so that Carter doesn't find out what she's up to. She'll tell Ridge. He trusts me more than anyone. In his bedroom at the mansion, Ridge paces. He thinks about his close encounter with Taylor in the living room. Suddenly, he turns and she's standing there in the doorway with 2 glasses in her hand. Placing them on the bureau, she walks over to Ridge. They gaze into each other's eyes. Taylor muses, Ridge,
At the
what you've
Forrester
been
mansion
through
tonight.
The grand opulence of the estate loomed over the skyline like a timeless sentinel, its marble columns gleaming in the low light of the evening. Inside, the atmosphere was filled with a lingering sense of anticipation. Ridge Forrester, the man who had once been the epitome of control and precision, now found himself on the precipice of a decision that could change everything. His heart raced as he gazed at the woman before him, Taylor Hayes. The years had been kind to her, but it was her confidence, her presence, that struck him most tonight. Taylor's eyes met his, and there was an unspoken understanding between them. For years they had been through so much together, their love, their pain, their losses, and their triumphs. But tonight, there was something different in the air. It was as if fate had drawn them together once more, and neither of them could deny the magnetic pull that had always existed between them. Ridge stood across from her, his broad shoulders tense, but his eyes softened as they traced the curve of her jaw. His hand twitched at his side, a movement that almost betrayed the calm composure he was trying to maintain. Taylor, ever the picture of grace and beauty, allowed herself a small smile. She could sense it too, the unspoken tension, the quiet yearning that had been bubbling beneath the surface for years, but she wasn't sure whether Ridge was ready to confront it. Ridge, Taylor said, her voice low, almost a whisper, as if they were the only 2 people in the world. Is this what you really want? After all this time? He stepped closer, his gaze intense, his breath shallow. The question hung between them like a delicate thread, fragile and yet capable of unraveling everything. His fingers hovered just above her skin, a mere inch away, as if daring himself to bridge the gap. Taylor's pulse quickened, the air thick with possibilities. She had loved him once, and she still felt that spark within her, but it wasn't just about love anymore. It was about something deeper, something that only they could understand. I don't know if I'm ready, Taylor, Ridge admitted, his voice thick with emotion. I don't know if I ever was, but I can't deny that what I feel right now is something I can't ignore. Before she could respond, a sound echoed through the hall, sharp and unmistakable, the unmistakable click of heels against marble floors. Both Ridge and Taylor froze, their eyes widening. They both knew who it was before they even had to look. Brooke Logan. The woman who had once been Ridge's world, the woman who still held a part of him despite everything. The one person who could shatter this fragile moment between them. The sudden intrusion of her presence felt like a cold wind sweeping through the room, dousing the warmth that had been growing between Ridge and Taylor. Brooke's silhouette appeared in the doorway, framed by the light from the grand chandelier above. Her eyes narrowed as she took in the scene before her, her gaze flitting between Ridge and Taylor. There was something unsettling about the way she stood there, poised, elegant, yet filled with an underlying tension. She had a way of demanding attention, and tonight, her presence was like a storm on the horizon. I didn't expect to find you 2 here, Brooke said, her voice edged with a sharpness that betrayed her calm exterior. What's going on? Ridge's heart sank as he met Brooke's gaze. He could see the hurt there, the confusion, but also the glimmer of something else. Something that said she knew, deep down, what was happening. This wasn't the first time Brooke had walked into a situation like this, and each time, it felt like the ground beneath Ridge was crumbling. Brooke, this isn't what you think, Ridge began, his voice shaky as he tried to steady himself. But the words felt hollow, meaningless. They were always the same words, repeated in 1,000 variations, and yet none of them ever seemed to truly convey what he was feeling. Oh really? Brooke's laugh was soft but laced with venom. Then what exactly is it, Ridge? What's going on here? because it sure looks like you're ready to pick up right where you left off with Taylor." She stepped into the room fully, her eyes now fixed on Taylor with a mixture of resentment and bitterness. How predictable. Taylor, ever the composed one, stood her ground. She wasn't here to fight over Ridge, not anymore. Her relationship with him had always been a complicated dance, but tonight was different. Tonight, it wasn't just about Ridge. It was about her, about who she had become over the years, and how she wouldn't let anyone diminish the strength she had found within herself. "Brooke," Taylor said, her tone calm but firm, "we're not here to cause trouble. We're not here to take anything from you. Ridge and I, we have a history, yes, but what we do from here is our choice. It's not about you or me or anyone else."